Okay, if you know me, you know I love kids. So let's talk about relating to children in the life of a Christian. And I usually talk to parents or educators. Today, I want to talk to people who do not have children. Actually, I want to talk to everybody, but I don't want the people who don't have kids to tune out. Okay, let's talk about the roles of spiritual formation in children. Usually, this is aimed at parents and grandparents, right? Because we have a vested interest. I want to make sure the people who do, maybe you don't already have a role, a significant role in the life of a child, or maybe you do. Maybe you are seeking out relationships with kids so that you can help mentor and invest in their life. In our church, I know that we have kind of a mix of, we have very involved grandparents, we have parents, we have single people who are helping out and mentoring and babysitting the kids, like those, it's kind of all across the board. But I am convinced that teaching children about God is fundamental in the lives of all Christians. And one of the pushbacks that we get at our church a lot is, I'm not comfortable teaching, or I don't like kids, or I don't feel called. I think educating the next generation in the faith is something we're all called to. So not just the parents, not just the grandparents, not just children's ministry leaders. All ours is especially sweet and precious, and we love her so much. But we're all called to minister to kids and to teach them. I'm a mom of 4, and I wear that badge with honor and pride, but it's not enough for me to care about the physical and mental and emotional needs of my kids. I need to care about those needs for all kids. God calls us to more than just our immediate family. I'm a homeschool mom, and I care deeply about my children's education and the topic of education in general, but it's not enough for just me to check up on my kids' education and to educate them. I also need to care about the education of the community and the nation at large. As believers, we have to daily fight against apathy. We have to go to war against our own selfishness. We have to go get to war against the idea of, this is someone else's problem. Those are someone else's kids. Like somehow, because children belong to someone else, they're not part of society or the church. Also, somehow, because children are young and small, people write them out off. They think that they don't belong in the fellowship of believers. I love that many people in our church love the children and pray for them and guide them and teach them. If you're already doing that, then I just want to take this time to tell you thank you. Your part in the spiritual formation of our kids is so valuable, and we're so grateful. And we are blessed with the whole church, the whole body of Christ is blessed by your efforts, and we are so thankful. But I want to talk for a second about accepting personal responsibility. I like hearing people in the church say, like, the kids are our future, and so that's why we invest in them. I want to gently rebuke that. The kids, if they've accepted Christ, they're not the future of the church. If they've accepted Christ, they're part of the church right now. There isn't like an age limit on that. If they have accepted Christ, then they're part of the body of believers. So if we kind of need to scale back some of our disdain, if you will. When I was kind of an early Christian, I didn't really see the necessity for this, but I want to think about this. When Jesus was on earth, he didn't tell children to come back when they graduated seminary. He didn't say, come see me when you hit college age. He didn't say, you need to go take a theological course and then come get your blessing from me. No, Jesus stopped right then, and he blessed the children, and he prayed for them, and he pulled them close, and he, I'm sure he smiled at them and enjoyed them. So guys, yes, children are younger than us. They are smaller than us. Often I'm 5 foot, so there's a lot of children that are taller than me, but for the most part, children are younger and smaller. They're still developing into the people that God is making them and is calling them to be, exactly like you and me, right? I'm not the woman that God is calling me to be yet, and I would imagine neither are you. So, and just like we are given the freedom to grow and to change and to learn about God, we need to let our kids do that too. Okay. People in our church, there are many women who are older and wiser. And when I go to them for questions about parenting teenagers or adult, young adults, I've never been made to feel small. They've never been impatient with me. They've never said, oh, we just don't really like 37-year-olds. That's never been the attitude. That would be absurd, right? Why do we do that to kids? Why do we say, I just don't like kids, or make them feel like they don't know enough to even participate in the faith walk? We need to kind of maybe scale back our expectations, but also be humble enough to listen to what they're actually saying and see if maybe they can teach us something as well. I've never been made to feel less than because I'm under 40, and we need to make sure we're not doing that to our kids that are under 10 or whatever age it is at your church. So let's make sure that we are very kind to our children. Israel was led by God as a community. Israel worshiped God as a community. They didn't age segregate the children off. The early church was meeting in homes, which meant the children would have been there. Children are a part of the body of Christ, and they were made for community. Yes, even our churches. They were made to participate in the life of Christ with us. If you don't have kids, either yet or that's not in God's plan for you, then how do you help support the spiritual foundation? At the beginning of this, I said I wanted to talk to people without kids. Well, start by noticing the kids around you. If there are children that you don't know, introduce yourself. Ask them questions. They would be more than happy to tell you about their favorite color or their teacher's name or their favorite superhero, the book that they just read. We build relationship with kids in the church just like we build relationship with everybody else. There are people that you go to church with that you didn't know a few months ago. If you had not asked them questions and had a conversation with them, you wouldn't know them today. Well, we need to do the same with kids. Kids are people. Just because they're, like we talked about, younger, smaller, doesn't negate the fact that they are people and we can get to know them. Okay. And I think there's a really great need for parents to get encouragement today. So something else that our people who do not have children can do is to notice the parents' efforts and really encourage them. In our church, we have single parents who are doing the job of two parents, and they're doing it just remarkably well. We have young couples who faithfully bring their kids to church every week, even though it's during bedtime and it's kind of a hassle. We have just kind of the whole gamut. We have blended families. We have grandparents raising kids. We have grandparents who their children are not interested in the things of God, and so they bring their grandkids every week. No matter how you are investing in the life of children, it's important and it matters and it is kingdom work. And if you're not currently investing in the life of a kid, just pick one. Just pick somebody. Encourage them. Notice the things that you see them doing well. Like for example, in our church, we have teenagers who are more than willing to always help out, especially like carrying heavy things or taking out the trash or setting up or tearing down different things for events. We have kids who are really good at sharing, even though they're really little guys. I had a little guy show me his Hulk last week, okay? And I was like, oh, wow, what, I was asking questions about it and he handed it to me. He had just bought it, or his parents had just bought it less than an hour before, but he's ready to show me. Kids are wonderful. Kids are a really important part of the body of Christ, and we can learn a lot from them. So I just want to encourage you to get involved and encourage a child or their parents today. Thanks for watching.